I can relate to the Hulk. I mean, I've never been in a fight. But the problem is, instead of superhero strength, I have the strength of a 5-year-old.
This is where the white trash part comes.
Can I interest you in some sex?
You banging cars, I'm gonna talk shit about you.
It's 6:30 on a Sunday, and we are live. This is your weekly AA meeting with Arlow and Adam.
Bomb square. Square. Can't even talk.
He said square.
Stuttered.
You just ruined it.
I did. We had a bomb scare here in Tahlequah. Somebody called a bomb scare. See, I did it again. Why can't I say that word? I can't say that word at all.
Yeah. Go ahead and put your fine ass mama back on the phone. You know what your shirt's made out of? Boyfriend material.
That's right, everybody. It is Sunday, 6:30. I'm Adam Van Damage, and with me, as always, is Arlow Tong Po Jumper. What is up, dude?
Tired.
Wasn't expecting that one, was you?
No. I don't even feel cool today. I'm just like, tired. What are you doing? Yeah, lucky I'm here.
Right? Well, we are back from a Easter break of sorts. Last week was Easter, so we went ahead and took the night off to be with the families and do all that good thing.
I could have used the night off tonight.
We came back on WrestleMania Sunday, and we say, screw WrestleMania, man. It's not a good lineup this year.
Wrestling hasn't been cool since the 90s, man.
Yeah, I went on a big rant on that last week.
Oh, yeah? You on a big rant on a lot of things.
Man, that ain't no freaking lie. I am not happy with. I mean, they got cool characters on there. They got a lot of cool stuff that could go for them. They just execute everything really crappily. So
I totally agree.
But yeah, so we got a couple of news.
I totally agree, Sarah. Sarah said great moves. We're about to get to that story, boy.
Yeah, we are. I was just about to. Man, y'all don't even let me get no time in.
Keep going.
So my Easter was it was cold, it was wet. I didn't really. I mean, we still did the egg hunt thing and all of that stuff. It was just that's second Easter in a row that was just poop on that.
What's up, Berto?
I got to give a big shout out before we get started on anything really. Today was my kid's cheer competition.
What's up?
I am such a proud father. It's her second and final cheer competition of the year, and the Grandview Chargers took first place in the junior recreational group, which is their group, and then they also took grand champion in the recreation category, which is all the age groups. So they beat out bigger kids too, and then they had the second top score in the entire show with only a 0.75 of a point deduction. So, yeah, they kicked ass out there today. So proud.
I know she don't get that athleticism from you.
Hell no. But she does love to perform, so she does get that from me. So,
oh, Lord. I believe she's better than you.
Well, you know what? It's true.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize. I had to tell my hateful ass today. I get no sleep, and I need to quit that.
Hey, he did chime in, so we got to give Berto his credit where credit is due. The man got another his Facebook group and his website, Fightbook MMA, got another award. Man's picking up awards like nothing, dude. And top 40 kickboxing and boxing blogs of 2018. Congratulations, Berto.
Oh, yeah, man. It's an honor for me to be part of that.
Yeah,
because I'm still part of it. I haven't really done much for him lately just because I've been busy. But as soon as I get more spare time, I'm going to go back into interviewing boxers for him.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so awesome.
I'm just proud to know somebody that's getting these kinds of awards.
You're just proud to know anybody.
No joke. And them claim me. That's the good part.
You usually claim everybody. Everybody's like, I don't know Adam.
Although I shouldn't really be giving this man so many shout-outs, though, after the him publicizing my embarrassment. God, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I finally satisfied the promise I made a year ago.
Finally.
I finally paid the piper and busted out the old John Claude Van Damme dance that I haven't heard. I had no end to it. I mean, it was the peer pressure coming out of that.
Dude, it was good. It wasn't quite the Van Damme.
No.
You should have studied it. You really should have.
Yeah.
But I was just happy that you went out there and just turned loose.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was like, hey, you know what? It's close enough. It's not the 100%, but you know what? Adam got out there, had that same face right there. And just
What's that? This face?
that face right there.
Here, let me put this on the big screen for you guys. I do have to give Berto a shout out because he did edit this for me. I'll go ahead and show you guys what we're talking about.
It is so horrible.
This is bad. Sorry for the grainy video. You know, cell phone and then downloaded it and re-edited it.
That's me laughing my ass off in the back. You can see the look of disgust from people around.
This is the way it's supposed to look. You know, if you got skill and you got the swagger and Asian girls around you, you know, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Berto, your video edit was the bomb, yo.
Thank you, Berto, for editing this, put this together for us. See, this is the way it's supposed to look.
But
no, this is what you got this.
You got drunk at him. I bet your quads were burning, weren't they?
Oh my God. My thighs were on fire.
You just weren't meant to drop it like it was hot, were you?
No.
You dropped it like it was heavy.
Well, I about fell down. I think this is about it. You'll see me touch the ground. I was like, shit, them quads. Here it is. Now it's trying to get into it after that.
No, Adam is not dancing with the stars. There's no footwork, no nimbleness to him.
There it is.
Oh, that's too much. We're done. Well, okay, cut the video. I'm embarrassed watching it. I'm embarrassed that I filmed it.
You guys can see the whole video on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page. But
do you know what was awesome though about that night? You know, I couldn't get a girl to say...
It wasn't my dance moves.
It wasn't the dance move. I couldn't get a girl to say no that night to dancing. I spent more time two-stepping than I ever have, I think, in that bar.
Yeah, we noticed.
I know. I was like, dude, all I had to do is get up to a girl and be like, hey, you want to dance? And they're like, yeah. I was like, sweet, that's it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
That was funny. Hey, and I gotta thank our friend Sarah going for it, was because, you know, she made my two-step and not look half as bad.
Oh Lord, don't even get me started with her two-stepping. Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. I don't mean to throw you underneath the bus.
Yeah, we do. That's what we do here.
Okay, time to roast her.
I'm glad somebody else is getting this and not me.
Okay. Yeah, dog. I mean, she got out there with me. What she told me it was. But, hey, it's all right. KJ says Arlow's next, so we're going to have to get him breaking it down. Not just some two-step, I'm next for
solo out there.
Okay,
next man to dance. Arlow didn't care, man. He's trying to tell you, you're a terrible dancer.
I did not say you were terrible. I did not say you were terrible.
Maybe horrible then is what she said.
I didn't even say horrible. I didn't say horrible or terrible. I didn't say any one of those two. You just try to put words in my mouth because I didn't say you were phenomenal.
Oh man, that was such a good night. We've got to do stuff like that more often. That was so.
Oh, actually, it was god awful. Like, I'm pretty sure people are traumatized by those dance moves.
True story.
Like, I'm pretty sure people are like just probably having nightmares about it. I mean, I had like night terrors about it. I woke up screaming, telling Adam to stop. Like, I was just like, this is. And
I'm standing over and saying, like, you asked for it, big boy.
Like, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure everybody had PTSD that's seen that.
Hey, we did get a little bit of a circle going. I'm sure they were all pointing and laughing.
You did try. You're good. We'll get you better. We'll get you better.
Practice makes perfect. I had a good time though. I mean, I didn't really mind doing it. I kind of, you know me, if I got to do something, I'll own it.
Hey, Sarah, ask all the other girls I dance with. I don't think they would agree with you. I don't think they're gonna say I need work.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on. Drop the mic. Walk off. Oh, you forget your boy's fresh like that.
I was walking off the dance floor.
That's it, dog. You gonna come up here trying to clown me?
All right, calm down.
What's up, Big Dave? Yeah, man. What we got here? How many more likes before Adam gets?
Oh, I'm sorry, you did not get there. You didn't get there. We only got like 36
Okay, wipe that shitty
subscription out of that whole thing. So
wipe that shitty grin off your face.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
With the high pitched voice. They're with the high pitched.
You know, you got to throw that carrot out there and show them, hey, I got $1. Gotta be quicker than that. So you don't get to see this pretty face in some makeup. So sorry, folks.
Thank God, because I'd have been stuck in here with you for an hour and a half.
Dude, I'd make that so weird too, just to fuck with you.
No, you would, because I would punch you right in the face, right in the suckhole.
I can't believe I've never heard that one before.
Have you never watched Step Brothers?
I have, actually.
That's where I got that off of when they're talking.
Holy crap.
He's like, I just want to punch you right in the face, right in the suckhole. Oh, dude, I'm tired. I don't even care. There's no rating on my mouth tonight. It's done.
Oh.
It's over. It's rated R for raw.
We got a long, full show too.
Well, yeah, we do. Like how we eat our sushi, baby, raw.
Man, I've got to brag on myself too. I, as you know, Rocklahoma is coming up here, and just
my boy Dave Johnson said, "Let's just get him drunk and he'll do it."
That's no.
You about said it's true. You all heard that. You all heard that.
I was trying to be my own devil's advocate, and I was like, you know, I might do. No, I still wouldn't do it.
Straight up said, well, wait a minute, I'm on air.
No, it wasn't. I'm on air. So I'm giving some honest thought. I had a
whatever, dog. Whatever. It's cool.
Whatever. We're not starting this year's Van Damme.
Well, you asked. Wait a minute. We're on air.
No, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with on air. You know me better than that.
Do I?
Well, you are getting those guns.
You touch me one more time like that. That's your only one.
I got to brag on myself, though. I've, as you know, Rocklahoma's coming up here in a couple months, and we're so obsessed with it. So I've launched a Facebook page, and to help people, you know how I do. I like to explain stuff. I love the sound of my own voice.
Of course, everyone else does.
Man, I'm getting like 2,500 people views per episode. So for all of those of course I'm plugging us like crazy. So for all of you coming to hear from my Surviving Rocklahoma page, thank you guys. Glad to have you here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe however you're watching. And the same goes for all of you out there. You guys could have seen this in makeup if you would have went to our YouTube video, our YouTube channel, and hit subscribe. You can find the links on our website. You can find the link there at the bottom of your video. That's aameetingpodcast.wordpress.com. While you're there, head on over to our sponsor page. Check out some of our sponsors. One of those is Famous Smoke Shop, a great place to get your cigars, as well as onetravel.com. Save yourself some money next time you book your vacation. Everything from cruises to hotels to just a night out. Great things. They're not a sponsor, but you know what else? I think I told you about it the other day. We got our Movie Pass cards. Dude, those things are freaking badass. It's like, seriously. You know me, I'm a movie buff, and I love to go to movies. $9 a month is what it averages out to. You have to pay like 1 year in advance.
Okay.
Pay for the whole year, but after that, you get unlimited movies. Well, it's kind of limited. You get one movie per day per card. And you don't have to pay nothing once you make that initial payment. We've already seen like all the movies practically that's out right now, and the only thing we've had to pay is like concession. So like right now, my wife and the kids went to go see Pacific Rim. It didn't cost them $1. They just put in their app, check out. It preloads the card. You go up there and hand the card to the person at the window, and then they run the card. And, all right, thank you, and then. It's awesome, man.
It'll be like everything else. It'll go great for a few years, and they're going to up the price and keep upping the price and keep upping the price.
You know what? I'm fine with it because I've already got my year in, so they can't do that to me right now. So at least I get 1 year of great movies because there's a lot of good movies coming out this year, like Avengers and Ant-Man. And
there's so many great
I was thinking DC's got a movie coming out this year, too. I can't remember what it was. But seriously, folks, they're not even a sponsor. I'm trying to get them to sponsor it, but MoviePass.com. Great deal. It's a little complicated when you first set it up, but you can see all the movies you want once you pay that annual thing, and it's freaking awesome. So, I
do believe you said awesome like 35 times.
I can't help it.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
When I get excited about something, it's awesome.
I seriously have them all marked down right here.
Do you? Are you making hash marks?
I was like, it must be.
I can see your notes from here at awesome, and there's like 15 next to it. Adam's voice goes into a high pitch. There's like 4 or 5 already. I'm sure it'll be quadruple that by the end of the night. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh shit, man!
Kind of like my dance moves. They're awesome.
So how was your last week? This past week?
It was pretty uneventful. I've done a lot of stuff with that. I'm plugging away, trying to get us some sponsors here.
Of course.
And starting to get my stuff ready for Rocklahoma and getting in that frame of mind.
I need to give a shout out to Berto real quick.
Sure.
Hey Berto, I got my Atlantic City trip coming up, man. If you know anybody wanting to,
do something.
Yeah, like, because I don't need help paying for it, but if I get people to pay for it, I'll take them down as sponsors and wear shirts with everyone's sponsorship on it when I talk and shake hands to everybody.
Yeah,
I got my where Vinny's getting inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the beginning of June. So I'll be there rubbing elbows with some high rollers. So I mean, Berto, if you know anybody wanting to sponsor, I'll take whatever I can get. I got most of the trip booked already. Got my hotel booked. Got I forgot your website stuff to go through, but
that's bad.
But I get discounts for going through Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame.
Right.
We're good like that.
That's cool, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, we got to talk about a video. I shared it. I saw it like right after we wrapped up our last podcast.
Okay.
And it was, let me get the video up so these people watching our feed can see this. Anyway, it's this guy, and he was born with a deformity, and he had to have both of his legs removed. And so he goes to this competition, and man, he just dominates it. I'm getting the big screen ready here so you guys can see this video. There we go. All right, so check this guy out in a wheelchair. Let me move this.
Dude's a beast, dude.
No legs.
I'm totally not ever gonna downplay this because this dude's a freaking machine.
Right.
But does it not remind you of Joe off Family Guy?
Sure, Peter.
But you know what I mean? Remember when he do all his exercises? But this dude's a freaking machine, dude. Like, there's people that...
What's this? On the floor.
Dude, that's unreal right there. Unreal right there. Are y'all watching this?
Like, it is on the big screen.
This dude would out-fitness any of us. Any of us.
No joke.
I know a few people he might not get by, but dude, look at them guns, dude. He's got like 20-inch arms already, 22-inch arms.
Holy crap. That's impressive, to say the least. But
that's the human spirit, man. Yeah. That's what I tell people. It's the will. Just because he didn't have something, doesn't mean any of his goals or plans or whatever he wants to do in life changes.
Well, this guy's name is, I just lost it, Zachary Rule. He was a 26-year-old amputee he was born with a birth defect that resulted in him losing his legs when he was just a boy. He's been bodybuilding since high school. He played football. I don't know how that worked. Was a professional arm wrestler, and he's a CrossFit enthusiast.
I can tell he's a professional arm wrestler. Dude's got like 30-inch biceps and 25-inch forearms.
And what motivated him is people telling him he couldn't do. He was handicapped, and he's like, "Screw that! I'll do anything I want."
Here's the problem: he's not handicapped in his mind.
Handicapable.
You see, people see a handicap. He just sees a challenge. That's the difference. Oh, yeah. That's the difference. And then when someone who says, "Oh, he's handicapped," when they get something that's some kind of issue that's gonna downplay their lifestyle. Now they'll say they have a handicap. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Well, you and I are both wired the same in that one of the things we hate the most out of anything is people who make excuses. I can't do it. Man, this is so hard. I can't get out of this job because, you know, I don't want to do da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm so miserable. I'm going through hell. I was like, dude, this man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there is no excuse. Don't ever let anything hold you back, ever.
Exactly. Like a lot of people, whether it's health, oh, I ain't got time. Whether it's a job, well, I got this.
Right.
Or, you know, if you're not happy, you're the only one that can change it. And if you're not wanting to change it, then you can't bitch about it.
Yeah.
That sucks to say it that way, but that's the truth. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career, or whether it's your health, whatever it is, if you don't want to fix it, then you can't bitch about it because you're wanting to stay in that situation.
Many would argue with me. I'd go farther and say, if you don't change it, then you don't want to. Especially like, let's say people who poverty, you know, people who don't have money, we're all broke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all of us are some form where no one's financially where they want to be.
In my point, when you say if you don't fix it, you don't. That's the same concept,
right?
Because if you don't want to, you're not wanting it. You only think you want it because if you're not willing to take the actions to move it, then you're not trying.
Yeah,
and that's.
I mean, you know, life sucks. Life's hard.
And you know, I had this discussion, you know, life is hard. Life doesn't suck.
Well,
life is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Why? Because I wake up every day. You know what that means? If I wake up, if and I don't care to sound spiritual or what, but if God wakes me every day, it means I still have a purpose. It means I still got a purpose to do something.
Yeah.
And I mean, He wakes you every day for your purpose. That means you need to get up and not waste these days and bitch about it. And that's the cold, hard truth.
Right.
If you ain't willing to put the work in to change it, then you don't need to bitch about it. You don't need to be a bitch about being overweight. You don't need to bitch about the job doesn't treat you right. You don't need to bitch about your significant other not doing you right. If you ain't willing to make the change, then there's no need.
I 100% agree. And you know, he made the decision every day to go and work out, go to the gym, go to do.
David Johnson said, "You piss excellence." I'm far from pissing excellence. I probably piss the exact opposite of excellence.
Right. You know, I'm just one of those people. I think everyone's a sum of their decisions. You know, life will throw you curveballs, but life doesn't throw anything at you that you can't overcome. And it's gonna. When I say life sucks, I mean there's going to be times where you feel like it sucks. Like, man, I'm in this crappy situation. I started out with nothing. I can't catch a break, or I'm in this relationship and they're beating up on me, or they're cheating on me, or I've got this career and my boss is a dick, or whatever. Well, and you sit there, every day you wake up and say, I'm going to, you know, I hate this, but you sit there and take it. You don't make the moves necessary. One day you just got to have enough. Say, you know what, I'm going to change it.
You know, I'm tired of, you know, and I appreciate every job I got. But at the same time, I told people, you know, I worked at a job to be poor.
Right.
And I'm not going to do that again. I worked at a job, to be poor. That makes zero sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people say, what's that? Go out in the world, start working. Now, don't get me wrong. It gets scary to change. It gets scary to move all the time. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do what's best for me.
100% agree with you.
Like, people tell me about me opening this gym. I'm working to get funded. I'm like, the thing that irritates me the most about the world is, or probably America more so.
Right.
In U.S., is I need a degree to work for you most of the time.
Right.
Right? But you don't need a degree to start a business. Riddle me that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Well, I mean, like, some of the biggest millionaires in the world dropped out.
Don't have degrees. Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban. Well, 0 degree.
everybody knows the story of Einstein. Einstein dropped out after and failed like 5th grade math and became one of the most brilliant physicists ever.
Who else is the guy? Charles Mask Lewis, the guy who started Tap Out.
I didn't know. Is that The Mask?
Mm-hmm.
Is that? And he had a documentary.
Yeah, it just came out. Well, he's passed away. He's passed on about probably I don't know how many years ago now.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was years ago. It was probably mid late 2000s. I reckon he probably passed. But another one, just an entrepreneur,
right?
And that's all it takes is some fucking hard iron will attitude and some fucking can do spirit.
Yeah,
you put those two together, it's gonna be a hard ass road. It's gonna be a bumpy fucking road. But guess what? Right when you think it's over and you're not gonna get there, you usually get there.
Right. Well, and like they say, as cliche as it sounds, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And people can say that. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. When I started talking about getting my own business and starting, I said I'm tired of working for people. You can either be the boss you want to be, or you can be a slave to a boss that you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I go around and people's like, oh well, people say, and I used to be the guy that sit there and say, that would sit there and say there's more to life than money. And I'm sure many of us will agree, and I agree, there is more to life than money.
Right.
But you know what else is more to life too? Me struggling to pay my fucking bills.
Yeah. That is no freaking lie.
And that's real, man. It's as real as I can get on there for that one.
No joke.
Because people tend to think because I'm trying to open up my own business. No, it's not about that. It's about independence. It's about being everything you wanted to do. Kind of like with your little companies you got on the side. Yeah. It's your job. It's you get to do it. You want to do it. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't get. And I'm like, it's not for money. I don't care if I make $1 million fucking dollars, because I'd rather touch 1 million fucking hearts and just be able to pay my bills like I want to.
Right. Seriously, folks out there, chase your dreams, man. Don't let anyone tell you can't do something. Seriously, I don't care if it's overcome a disability, a learning disorder, or just you've got an idea that you want to try out, and everyone, no, I don't want to live by it. If you like it enough,
March 11, 2009 is what Berto just sent in when Charles Mask Lewis passed on.
Oh, well, rest in peace of that guy.
Yeah. Dang, it's coming up on 9 years.
Dang.
No, it's past 9 years. It's April now.
Well, and
it's hit 9 years.
Not to get political, but speaking of people like fighting for what they deserve, we've got to give it a shout out to all the teachers out there. We're both pro education, pro teachers and stuff, and we're not going to debate all of this. No, we're not going to debate. But we want to support those who see an injustice in the country and they're doing something about it. They're taking action en masse, organizing, and they're going and they say, hell no, we're not going to take it.
And they're not jumping in the middle of the freeways.
Yeah.
and no one's looting.
What cracks me up is, and we're going to get to some conspiracies later.
Oh, we're getting into conspiracy theory tonight. I'm tired. I don't really want to talk about a whole lot. So we just said, let's just do something fun.
And there's a lot of senators out there that's saying, well, they're paid actors. And they're one of the guys said they're acting like this and they're threatening our lives and da 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 da.
That's so dumb. They're paid actors. I've walked into Heritage. Right. I've walked into Greenwood. I delivered school supplies last year.
Right.
Those are those people standing out on the side of the road.
And and then the OHP, like the troopers, the people who's for that government working for them, is like, no, we've had absolutely zero incidents. They're model protesters. Everybody's respectful. We ask them to do something, they go do it. I mean, they're here and they're exercising their rights.
Exactly.
So kudos to them for conducting properly. Because let me tell you guys, Oklahoma, we are ranked 49th in the nation. We're one of the dumbest states in the union. And then our teachers are underpaid. So I'm going to leave it at that. But with dumb people, what you get is people snorting condoms and eating Tide Pods. And I can't believe that's our trend right now.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me real quick. Is these kids are snorting condoms.
Yes.
And eating Tide Pods, but they think they know all about gun laws.
Yeah. I saw a cartoon out of a newspaper, and it was this kid, and of course it's caricature, and he's sitting there with a Tide Pod in one hand and a condom hanging out of his nose on the other, and it said millennials across his shirt. Said, let me tell you something about gun laws.
How is your generation going to be taken seriously? Because what's sad is these are the people that's going to be leading the country soon.
Yes.
These are the people that's going to be leading your next business. They're going to be your managers. They're going to be your CEOs. They're going to be your, all that and leading the way. And really.
I saw one of the meanest things on Facebook the other day, but it was so true. It was so poignant, and I loved it so much. And it said, son, I see you snorting a condom. Looks like your dad wasn't the only one who didn't know how to use it. Boy. And all this thing started out in 2013. Somebody made a meme about it. Everybody thought it was, a bunch of kids thought it was funny. And then one dumb kid, here, hold my milk. And snorted the damn thing. And, it works. Well, now it's not the big trend that the Tide Pods were, but it's just the fact that kids are doing it. And
you know what? You know what challenge I want to see these kids do? I want to put a challenge out there to these kids.
The degree challenge? Finish
fucking school. Yeah. Get a job. Clean your fucking room. Make your bed challenge. Be a fucking adult. Be a model citizen challenge.
Yeah.
Quit being dumbasses.
Self-sustenance challenge. There we go. Hashtag self-sustenance. I will never understand. I mean, we did dumb stuff when we were kids, but it was, what was they say in Super Troopers? They're like, but our shenanigans are fun and cheeky. Their shenanigans, people are mean and hurtful. And it's true. I mean, people, they do pranks, and it's just mean. I mean, people get hurt. They kill themselves, accidents. The Tide Pods, literally, no one died, but
they got seriously hurt. There's bleach probably in there. I mean, everything you make meth with's in there.
Right. And then this condoms, I mean, it literally hollows out your sinus cavities. So, I mean, you're going to be, because, I mean, it's a large object. You get the ring part of it, and it's going to just like a plunger. So, I mean, I just will not get it. And kids, folks, when you vote this coming fall, vote for teachers, because if not, you're going to get more of this dumb crap. The dumb people of America and his lack of education.
What would you do if you saw one of your kids do that?
Oh, my God. Don't. Oh, kids.
Cause
I hope you're not watching my show.
Because
seriously,
your kids are in this era.
They will lose everything. I'm the network guy.
Including their lives.
I'm the network guy. Their phones turned off. Their internet shut off.
What's up, sir?
I can monitor. I can take remote control of their phones if they want. And I've shown them. And they will not be allowed to have the internet for months, if not years. I was
wondering how that was going to go. I was like, what would happen if it was your kids?
Yeah. Well, and that's what parents don't do. Kids act like disrespectful or dumb or do stupid stuff, and they either want to scold them and talk to them. Now, Jimmy, think about this. Why was this not a good idea?
Well, and a lot of the issue is, is they don't discipline themselves. They expect someone else to do it.
Right.
They expect to send them to school and the school teacher to discipline them, and then they can't do anything because those kids are all filming everything, and those kids are either trying to beat those teachers up.
Right.
Whenever you just take your kid
screaming
home,
world star.
And where does it start? Because when you go home, that's how he's treating his fucking mom. That's how he's treating his dad. And if I'd have yelled at my dad like that, he'd have whooped my ass. If I'd have yelled at my mom like how these kids do, and just try to bow up and overthrow them as the authority,
right?
No, my mama would have whooped my ass.
Well, and that's part
of get your ass whipped.
Yeah, and that's part of adolescence is challenging, and you're figuring your boundaries out. You push those boundaries a little bit as you grow. And my son learned a valuable lesson this weekend, because in our house, we don't have locked doors.
Okay.
And I mean, if they're changing, they can lock the door. But if they get mad and go in there and slam the door and lock it, no, hell no. And that's just, my kids know that their privacy is limited, part of kids. My solution, if they violate that, they lose their door. And it escalates from there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, no, you won't. I grabbed the hammer and screwdriver. I started taking the hinge off. And he's like, no. He's like, don't do it again. Next time you don't get a warning.
Sorry, buddy.
He don't lock the doors no more.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think that's the way people do. And if you don't, I mean, you get these dumb criminals. And we got to hit this before we get into our conspiracy news. So, we got some dumb criminals, right?
Of course. Well, I ain't never met a smart one. Not to disrespect them. You had to disrespect them.
So, we got some dumb criminals here, and you shared this to our page. I think it was you. I know it wasn't me. This 26-year-old Florida woman was a passenger, and they're going down a car.
Yes.
So they get pulled over, and for whatever reason, I didn't see what the reason was, and the cop goes up, and the car smells like reeks of marijuana. And so there's probable cause. So they start patting everybody down, searching the car and everything. Reaches in a bag, pulls out a small baggie of weed and a small baggie of cocaine. And so, we've all been there, not the cocaine part, but a cop. So where are you going? What's this? Well, how did that get there? Well, her response was classic. And said, I don't know anything about any cocaine. It's a windy day. It must have flown through the window and into my purse.
Well, I didn't even read the article. I just saw the headline. I was like, this is dumb. I'm not even going to read it. But by God, I know Adam will read it when we get on air. I mean, who the hell really, honestly, I hope she's in prison.
She did get arrested, but she was released on bond.
What was the charge?
Possession of a controlled substance. She wasn't driving, so she wasn't going to get like DUI and DWIs. But
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
She's got the charge now. So
well, good. I mean, that's the dumbest excuse, and I've heard a lot of them because I worked in a jail.
We've given a lot.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stupid ones, but never, ever would I sit there and say, it's a windy day. It must have blown in from the window. Cocaine just don't fly in from your window. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of cocaine that wishes it did. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's cold.
Cocaine just don't blow in through your window. I mean, let it snow, but
I was going to say, you got a little snow there on your cheek. I know you came in from outside. It was windy. So.
Yeah, it's windy. Cocaine's just flying out there.
Now you see why people in the movies or whatever, they walk out at the front.
Yeah, you ain't taking.
I love the fresh air.
Yeah, that's exactly why that cocaine is in the air this time of year.
I needed a bump.
Yeah, get the freak out of here. Who does that? Who says that? I'd be embarrassed to say it. I'd be like, man, if I had a backpack or something that cocaine was in, and I wouldn't be like, oh, it's a windy day, officer. It was just blowing in through my window. I'd just been like, damn, I guess I'm going to jail.
Right.
Even if it's not mine, you're screwed. It does not matter. It's right there in your possession. It don't matter if her boyfriend put it there.
Yeah.
Somebody else stashed it on her, whatever. Or it's hers. At that point, I'm just like, I'm screwed.
Folks, what's the dumbest excuse you ever gave? And did it work?
Oh, you want to hear all mine?
Yeah, we need to hear at least the top.
Okay, if I get caught.
Yeah.
Because I've dodged them so many times, dog, on the road. But if I get pulled over, I just act really like, I don't want to say confused, but I act more like distraught.
Oh, okay.
And I tell them me and my girlfriend just had a fight, or I broke up with her, and you'll get especially the older cops, you'll get like a lecture.
Yeah, we had this.
You get like the 15-minute conversation about relationships and all this. Shoot the shit for a minute, and they don't even run shit. They'll just usually say 1090 and give them a fucking ID and say, get on out of here, man.
Did you ever give any that like later on you walked on? I was like, what? What the hell is
because
that?
That's always my go-to.
Oh, okay.
Women problems, because as soon as you say it, those guys know.
Until they see this podcast and pull you over in Fort Smith.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've been pulled. I told you, man, we get pulled about. I mean, I haven't gotten a ticket, thank God, on
right
in Fort Smith. I mean, I've been pulled over every time. I usually leave that bar, but it's all good.
That's so funny.
I still back the blue. I don't care.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it is a cat and mouse game, kind of. Even if you're not chasing them or like doing anything wrong, I mean, you're always going to run into them. I mean, this is life. I mean, stuff happens, especially with the crews we run with. So,
what's the dumbest excuse you gave a cop?
I don't. I think I can actually count on one hand the amount of times I've ever been pulled off over in my life. I never really. I think the dumbest one was the truth, and I didn't know that was the speed, but I didn't come up with like a big elaborate thing. Dude, I know I'm a disappointment.
You are, dude. You are such a. You shut up. You're done talking the rest of the show.
Let me see.
This is the Arlow hour now.
Yeah. Yeah, my normal one is just like, I'm sorry, officer, I'm late for work.
I'm
late for work.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm very unoriginal.
I'm
not that clever.
Dude, as soon as I see the red and blues, I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Bam, this is the game plan. Yeah. Bam, I slap my buddy beside me, start crying. Bam. Things are just clicking.
Yeah. What do you think McGregor's excuse was this weekend? Did he have one?
I'm sure you do, KJ. Dude, people can say what they want. People can say what they want because this is a conspiracy show. I don't think it was as real as they put on.
Now, is that your honest opinion?
That's my honest opinion.
You're not blowing this up.
I'm not blowing this out of proportion. My friend Emily that I work with, she looked up. I want to see a court record, and there's no court record of it.
Well, it's New York too. I mean, there could be a backlog. I mean, this happened not even a week ago.
Dude, your ODCRs pop up like
that's Oklahoma.
Not ODCR, but their version of ODCR.
Yeah,
will pop up like bam, bam. It don't matter. It's a system. It's in the system.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about,
but here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the other thing. He's a felon. He's getting charged for felony, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would not get to leave the states. He gets granted to leave. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, that's messed up.
He would be considered because he's a felon.
Mm-hmm.
No judge. Now, the cops would be more lenient because they'd probably be fight fans. But the judge ain't gonna give two shits if you're Conor McGregor.
That makes me so sick.
And I'm just saying, there's little things that add up that, especially because Dana White says he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Watch, he's gonna fight that guy, and they're gonna that Khabib or whatever it is. Yeah. Hang on, he's gonna fight him. They're gonna hype it up based on this because they're trying to make someone to be that guy.
They're going WWE on it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I done told you, I've seen this storyline.
Yeah.
1999 Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon.
Right. Yeah.
It's 19. Go watch all that. He drops a steel beam on the DX Express instead of throwing a dolly, a two-wheeler through the window. Here's the other thing. They talked about, Dana White said one guy got glass in his eyes. Yeah. Glass in his eyes, and it cut the dude's eyes.
Yeah.
Okay? Here's the other thing. When they were showing the video of the inside, if I had glass in my eyes, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
If it's cutting my eyes, especially at that level of what I'm getting paid, I'm pretty sure I'd be freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
The other thing is, there was 4 fighters that they said couldn't fight. Okay, that they scratched off. He's about to lose that whole. He would, if he don't lose that whole payday that he got from Mayweather over this,
right?
Because that's lawsuits of the people who got cut up. That's disfigurement.
He had a guaranteed $30 million payout for that fight.
There is what for the Mayweather? Well, he made over $100 million.
Well, that was the 30.
We're
guaranteed.
Not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
On top of the other shit.
We're just talking about the millions.
Yeah.
There's disfigurement. There is loss of wages because those people were scheduled to fight less than 24 hours.
Right.
And now they got to scratch it because of crazy guy. Yeah. I'm just saying there's a lot. As soon as I seen it, I was like, I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but there's so many freaking theatricals that go on in MMA.
Let me go grab some aluminum foil, make you a hat.
Yeah, dude, there's so... Y'all think I'm crazy. Y'all can think I'm crazy, but wait till this shit hits the fan when Dana White says he's done. Conor McGregor's done. Okay.
You got a couple of people agreeing with you. For those who don't know what we're talking about.
Thank you, Sarah.
What was it, Thursday? McGregor stormed the... Conor McGregor from the UFC stormed the Barclays Center in New York, and one of the credentialed...
Okay, Berto, they got paid... By who? it's still loss of wages.
Yeah, they got paid.
But you
I was about to get to
you
that,
can still sue for loss of wages.
Oh,
You
yeah,
didn't
sure.
get to perform.
Yeah.
You don't get the chance for the knockout of the night. You don't get the chance for the tap out of the
Right.
night. You don't get the chance for this.
Yeah.
The other thing is the disfigurement.
Yeah.
That's a
That's still to
lawsuit
come.
that's unreal. Because I've worked in the bar business where people got disfigured a lot, and then I've had to go to court for.
Really?
And it's a serious matter. And this dude, I'm just saying, I'm huge on. I've always thought a lot of their shit was staged.
Sure.
And don't get me wrong, you always got to hype a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't believe the hatred out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm used to Mike Tyson, what I grew up on, and Mike was literally batshit crazy.
Right.
You know, because when Mike started a melee against Lennox Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
Mike left with a big old goose egg on the side of his head. You know, you knew shit was real. Lennox Lewis had to go get a rabies shot because Mike Tyson was biting him on the leg. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm used to. I'm used to something like that, where the dude comes out and he's literally, you see the goose egg when he's walking off,
Right.
on the side of his head, and I'm like, I want to see some videos. I want to see some. Berto, I know you dig all that stuff.
Berto says Conor is going to lose a lot of money because of this. Yeah, I agree. See, what happened was McGregor was
lose money based on not fighting again, or lose money based on
just sponsors
lawsuits.
and just
Loss of sponsors, loss of fights, or based on lawsuits.
all the above.
Well, he's gonna lose. He should lose more money based on the lawsuits, and I want to see all this get filed. Until I actually see a lot of hard copies, I just don't buy it's as bad.
All right, hold that thought. Let me explain what all happened. So, McGregor got let in by a credentialed photographer or whoever they were, who's now had their credentials revoked. They got let into this event. Conor and over 24 men stormed into the underbelly of the event center and attacked a bus full of UFC fighters. After a pre-event, they were throwing trash, dollies, bike racks, and other objects, shattering the windows, one of which cut several fighters. Included in those, Michael Chisa and Ray Borg, who were both pulled from the car due to injuries. One of them had extreme face lacerations. Artem Labov was one fighter that was involved in it, was one of the people doing this. Dana White went on within hours after the event, said he was disgusted with the behavior. I know how you feel about that. All he would say, he wouldn't give anything definite. Like, I'm going to do this, none of this stuff. He was pissed, da-da-da-da-da. Since then, Conor has been stripped of his title as of right now.
He should have been stripped like a year ago. He ain't fought like in 2 years.
Oh yeah, 17 months he hasn't.
So what we're gonna do, is we're going Stone Cold Steve Austin versus me in 1999. Yeah. We're gonna hype this whole thing up and say he's done. Mm-hmm. He's done. You know what? He's done. They didn't say we're cutting him. They didn't say we're firing him. They just said he's done. What the hell does that mean? You know what that means? They're going to hype this for his title fight to come back.
Conor got charged with 3 counts of assault, 1 count of criminal mischief. He bonded out for $50,000, and he's due back in court June 14th.
I hate reality show TV for fighting.
Right.
Like, I hate it. I quit liking reality TV show after the first Contender show. After the first Contender show, when they did the second season of it, it just, to me, started looking staged. Yeah. All these fight. After the first Ultimate Fighter, they all started seeming more staged.
All reality shows are staged, though.
Exactly. But the thing that gets me is fighting is a reality show in itself. Yeah. It's real. It's raw. Just let it do what it do.
Well, UFC did go up above into a congressional hearings and stuff over some money issues. I can't remember what the exact reason was, but they were talking about their titles not being legitimate. And he said, why do you even call it a title? There's no ranking system. Your wins, losses don't matter. It's the promotional power. You give a gold star to whoever makes the most money or sells most seats.
I just think he's not going to lose no money. They're going to throw out some paper lawsuits. You'll hear about everything getting undisclosed amount.
Right.
That's, outside of the courts. You'll hear about charges getting dropped. You're going to hear about this. You're not going to hear about him being a felon, getting thrown in prison for 1.5 years because he felony assault,
right,
and lacerations and all this. You're not going to see any of that.
Yeah.
You're not going to see. You're going to see what I said. You're going to see charges dropped. You're going to see undisclosed amounts under the table. You're going to hear all that.
Just catching up here on the comments here. Now, Dana White did come out and say that he was going to go ahead and pay all the fighters that was on the bus what they were originally going to make for the fight. They're not the win or lose money, but just the booking money. That, hey, we're offering you this amount to fight. He agreed to pay it. Now, the one quick thing will jump me over into your bandwagon on your conspiracy.
Okay.
If they don't sue. If there was a don't sue agreement for that payout,
there can't be. That's personal.
Yeah, and you can do anything in a lawsuit.
Well, I'm talking about through Dana White. I don't give a damn. I can sue Conor McGregor for all his millions before you give me millions. You give me thousands to fight. That's what I'm talking about. And you can go fight for Bellator. You can go somewhere else. You can still go. I mean,
they do it all the time, though.
What?
They said, look, I'll give you this money if you agree not to sue this party for that incident that has nothing to do with me. I will give you this money if you don't press charges.
You know why they're not? Because then it would look like what I'm talking about. So instead, you're going to see everything get undisclosed amounts underneath the table. So that way you got to play through this thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you watch the charges getting dropped, when you start watching charges getting dropped and you start watching the money going undisclosed amounts settled outside of court, that's when you're going to say fucking Arlow was right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's I will jump in a heartbeat when I see that happen,
because they know if they put some kind of order on it now, then everyone's gonna say what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
and I hope, and I always say this, and y'all can quote me on this because I know a lot of people are gonna be pissed that I'm saying this. I hope I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. I hope he's really just batshit crazy. And I hope he's really just that batshit crazy. And as bad as I hate to say it was real, but it's real. Mm-hmm. Because this shit right here is what irritates me. I don't mind face-offs.
Oh, yeah.
And we face off before a fight and we get into it. That's part of the heat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But this here, from the jump, seemed far-fetched to me.
Okay. Conspiracy aside, what do you say to the Conor fans that are still love the guy?
They're loyal fans because they're always saying how crazy he is.
If it's legitimate, do you think this is bad for the industry?
If it's legit,
because see, a lot of his fans.
If it's legit, is it bad for the industry? No.
Okay.
Because it's just one man. You can't control a person's actions.
I think, and I'm going to have, this is good. This is one of the first times we've ever disagreed. And
you can disagree all day.
I know. Well, one of his fans, we're not going to name her name. They were like, "Oh, it's just Conor. That's just Conor. He's just selling, man. They're going to pay him twice as much now." And I'm like, "What? At what point?" I mean, there should be codes of conduct somewhere. Every other sport's got them. And this is 10 feet across the line.
Theoretically, they do.
Yeah.
Because they're saying he's done.
Yeah.
So theoretically, they already have.
Right.
Without just throwing that out there.
Right.
And there is a code of conduct, I'm sure, even with the UFC.
Sure.
It's just not as. It's probably just not as stern or severe as everyone else, because if you watch The Ultimate Fighter, it's a lot of partying.
Yeah.
So that's kind of almost the lifestyle I've seen them try to bring in, like a rock star lifestyle compared to fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're nurturing a mentality.
And that's why they have so many WWE style fans.
Right.
Because people don't like I love Berto to death because Berto understands fighting.
Right.
He don't just want to watch two people the tough guy wins.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean he's the toughest dude.
Yeah.
It means he just won that night. People only get in there to watch.
They want a reason to side with somebody.
They get in there just because it's when you get force fed of who's the hot shot.
Mm-hmm.
When you get force fed who's the hot shot, it's easy to follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I turn on my TV and every 5 seconds I see someone flashing Adam Richman, the baddest man in UFC, because he won 3 fights, well, I'm gonna start thinking, damn, that Adam Richman's, he's a bad son of a bitch.
Yeah, you'll have one or the other. It'll be that's a bad guy. I want to see who he can beat up. Or two, I want to see him taken down a peg.
But at the end of the day, you're gonna pay to see who he fights,
right?
Because you're gonna want to see either him win or you're gonna want to see him lose.
Right.
Now, Floyd Mayweather kind of marketed that himself on his own self, but Floyd hyped his own self in that same manner because either you loved him or you hated him. But UFC does that to their own people. Like I said, you can turn on the TV and this dude's the baddest dude this week.
Yeah.
The one next thing you know, that dude hits a pay-per-view, gets knocked out 20 seconds in the first round.
Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah.
And when you get knocked out in 20 seconds in the first round, the keyboard fans,
right,
the people who are just watching from their TV fans, not the people who are educated in this, take like Berto and most of the fight book MMA, who are educated, it's easy to follow when I just see a guy get knocked out.
Right.
And they're going to tell me who's the next baddest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
They're going to tell me who's the next one. Because forever it was John Jones, and John Jones got coked out. Now it's not so much John Jones. That hype train's fading out. Well, we got to make a new one. Let's make Conor McGregor. And actually it went Jones, Rousey, and now Conor. And if you want to get technical, it was Chuck Liddell, who they were making the poster boy till Rampage Jackson ended that run. And then they struggled for a little bit, in my opinion, to find that next cash cow. And then they found it in
McGregor,
John Jones, and then Ronda Rousey, and then now up to Conor McGregor.
Did you see Diaz is coming out defending McGregor now?
It's because they're troublemakers.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I told you he's crazy. I told you. See, my thing is, whether it's staged or not, I think that Dana in the UFC, who I have a load of respect for, and I actually share the same inner ear disorder with him, but I think he is, like we said, he's nurturing a mentality. I think they're promoting this stuff, and what's going to happen is that somebody's going to take it too far, and somebody's going to get killed. I mean, look, War Machine beat the S out of his.
But that had nothing to do with him fighting a hype. Hyping a fight, dude.
But he was a fighter.
Yeah, but we're talking about Conor hyping, going in there to fight a dude that's a skilled fighter because based on actions that happened a few days earlier.
Right.
War Machine was against his girlfriend behind closed doors. Right. For whatever reasons. This Conor thing, if it turns out to be in 1 month, in one to 2 months. By time either midsummer or beginning of summer, and I'm talking like June, July. If he's in court on a regular basis and having to do different arraignments, then I'm gonna say it was real. But if it's coming up like what I said, then I'm gonna say it's BS, and that's where I'm gonna draw the line on the difference between what War Machine did and what Conor's doing.
Do you think it would be bad for business? Obviously, it's going to hurt the business, but do you think it'd be bad for the image of the UFC if they started cleaning house and like, all right, domestic assault? Sorry, you're done. We're done with you. Oh, you two got it. I mean, this isn't like two guys getting in a bar brawl after running into each other after a fight or in a locker room or a Twitter beef.
In my opinion, there should be a strict code of conduct. Right. Especially because what you do, you're skilled, you're in the hurt business. You're skilled and trained to actually do physical harm to an individual. Right. So if you go out in the streets and physically decide to harm someone, okay, yes, you should probably be I'm gonna say probably let go.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, people can sit here and say, well, what about Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather don't fight for a company.
Right.
You're fighting for the WBC, all that stuff. Granted, that's that's an organization you won the belt for, but that's not like a signed company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You jump to the rankings, you say, hey, I want to fight that dude. He's got the WBC title, or he's got this title, or he does that. So let me go beat up some people that are in that ranking.
See, and that's one of the reasons that I can't get into UFC, because I look at the product now and then I look at the classic product before it got mainstream.
Dude, I love the Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell era. I love that. I'm
trying to think of more names, but yeah, you're right. Ken Shamrock and all that. These guys conducted themselves with integrity. I mean, they were martial artists. All of them came from multiple schools, and the first thing all of those schools teach you is discipline. And these guys out now, they're just out looking to make themselves look like the biggest badasses of all. You don't respect me, I'm going to kick your ass, and then I'm going to steal your girl and go do da-da-da-da-da. And they have no respect for anybody. And that kills me. And that makes it really hard to watch and hard to get into it. I mean, it's one thing to sit there in a promo and I'm going to beat that man. He thinks he's so bad. I'm going to show him, talk some smack. That's fine. But when you're out there and getting into fights, assaults, and in this case, he cost other people money.
Good point, Berto. Good point. That's why I love Berto. Berto said before the new company came in, WIMG, the UFC used to punish fighters when they actually acted that way. WIMG is an entertainment company. Let that sink in.
You know what? We're going to leave it. I think we can leave it right there.
That's a very strong point, Berto, and I love that, and thank you.
And that goes to your point, too.
That goes to a lot to my point, but I will end it on this. Either way, it's going to hurt the business.
Yeah.
Because you can't it can go two ways. If it's fake, then it really pisses me off and hurts the business because they're just saying you might as well just go watch WWE. Right. Why? Because the bumps are real in there too.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is if it's real and he does this and you let him back in the company, then that's just BS.
Right.
You shouldn't. He needs to be done if he does this, because the thing is if he did this real, and it really did throw glass in the dude. That's the thing that's getting me the most. It's not so much the lacerations, because I've been in a bar that a glass shattered in the middle of a fight. A beer bottle shattered, and glass slightly grazed me in the face, and it left these little small nicks on my face. That can be considered lacerations.
Right.
But for glass to go in your eyes, that's damn near taking away a man's livelihood, and you should not be able to. And I mean anywhere, you should not be. You should be blacklisted on as far as ever getting a fight again. Your ass better be in WWE in 2 months if it's real.
Well, and there's regulatory bodies on this. I mean, you have to get like a license through a state fighting commission.
Mm-hmm.
That right there can pull that, and it doesn't matter what the company he fights for says. If he's not licensed, he cannot legally fight. So where are those guys at? What I want to see is I want somebody to say, look, that was unacceptable. He's done. He will never fight in this state again.
And
period.
Like I said, if it's real, like everyone's saying it is, then he should be done. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. If you're gonna act like an idiot, guess what? You should get treated like one.
Yeah. I think my final thought on it, this is a huge opportunity if Dana wanted to take it to add legitimacy to his business and his company, because he could take it and it's like, look, we are done with this. Y'all start flying right or fly out. No more drugs. Drugs are automatic ban. You fail for like a controlled substance like cocaine, like John Jones.
That's why I love you, Berto.
Yeah.
That's why I love you, man. That's why I love Berto right here. Berto said, Brock Lesnar is back in the UFC. Ronda went to the WWE. Dana posted on Facebook wearing a supporting Ronda Rousey t-shirt for WrestleMania tonight. Yeah. With a little thinking face. Exactly. Yeah. The actual.
It is. It's a conspiracy.
Mirrors. Start the entrance of the conspiracy show.
So, folks, we are a live show, and our phone number is 918-973-0377. You can text or call, or you can email us at aameetingpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear your conspiracy stories, guys. Now, there's a million of them. And look at Arlow. He's looking at I nerd out. This guy over here is getting in his game face. He's getting in his
because I always think everything.
I hope you came prepared, because
I'm not even prepared. I freestyle my shit when it comes to
man, there is so many to pick from. And this was the big one, the UFC one. And you're not the only person to see it. And that was my criteria to fit. If I will believe it's a conspiracy, like I said, if no one sues or if nothing changes.
Go under
now, if they sue him into oblivion, that's obviously not
If they sue him into the poorhouse, like they should.
Yeah. And banned. I want to see him banned. I don't want to see him in another ring again.
Exactly.
They need
another cage.
It needs to be a precedent set. Now, let me see. Do you have any on top of your mind before I start going down the list?
Nah, just started, man.
Okay. Well, the big one anymore is the school shootings. Everybody's, now everybody's starting to say the school shootings and like the Vegas shooting is that they're staged and that they're paying crisis actors. And so they got in I can't remember the kid's name, but you see him all over the news now.
And one of the high school kids.
Yeah, the guy that looks like
mid-20s.
Yeah, the guy that looks like the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. Looks just like him.
He looks just like Malcolm, dog.
And
he looks just like Malcolm.
So everybody's saying that it's staged, that he's a crisis actor, and then they try to pick old footage. And the bad part about conspiracies, and I don't have anything against conspiracies, but people don't have common sense whenever they try to prove
it. They just go on and start yelling because they seen something.
I saw somebody shared this the other day. They don't even look at it.
Did you see the Facebook one about the people? It might have been a news feed or something. It was on one of the news feeds. I can't remember if it was actually a news channel or if it was just these people. But these people are going around to these victims that got shot at this church and saying it's not real.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah, and people are like, BS, go look at the cemetery. That's where my son's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or that's where my daughter, that's where this is at.
And that's being nice.
Yeah.
If I lost...
Boy, I'm killing you.
Yeah.
I'm whooping your ass.
I'm going Conor McGregor. Seriously, somebody, if here in Tahlequah, if my kid's grade school gets shot and I lose one of my kids and somebody shows up on my doorstep, we know you're a liar. I'm going to jail. I mean, I may not be much, but I'm pulling out the closet ninja skills and I'm beating somebody bloody. I mean, that is beyond disrespectful. That's total lack of humanity. If you have a suspicion, that's fine. This is the benefit of living in a free country. You are free to have whatever belief you want. But before you start engaging someone, especially somebody that is supposedly impacted by it, you better have your ducks in a row, my friend.
Yeah.
You better have your ifs, ands, and an explanation for everything. You walk up and just say, oh, I heard do. I mean, because if you said it, chances are 36 other people have said it. And you catch a man on the wrong day, he runs out of patience. He is capable of some very monstrous things.
I mean, the thing that gets me is even if these conspiracy theory about the shootings was correct,
the crisis actors
and their crisis actors, are you that stupid to keep hiring the same ones
after it's gone on like national news, like
TV,
CNN and Fox News and da?
Because they have that one woman that's always crying.
That was actually I was about to bring her.
She was at Sandy Hook. She's supposed to be at the Boston. She was supposed to be at this one and that one and this one and all these other. And I'm like, if she is really that fake, I'm like, are you especially in the era we live in now with social media, with easy to be able to blow anything up quick as, and I mean that as a media picture standpoint. If you the way you can widespread news, and you're going to throw that the same people over and over and over again.
Yeah. See, this is where I'm at. If you are that capable
now, I will go on record to say maybe who did the shooting.
Sure.
Kind of like the Vegas one.
Yeah.
You know, where people were saying but they're not. I would have to go out there, like I said, and we've had this discussion about the Vegas one. I would have to go out there and investigate and look at angles because I'm an educated guy with guns and actually see, because some of the people that was just ranting stuff, they saw a headline, didn't read the story. And the headline was probably some Photoshop crap. Probably.
And
a lot of people was talking about, well, the angles where you were if you're in the middle of it, I ain't got time to look at angles.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here going,
I will say, you know who the unsung hero of the Vegas shooting was? The metalhead that was at the concert holding his beer up, flipping off the shooter while bullets are flying. That was awesome.
Dude, that's nuts. There's no way, dude. Coming from a guy that's been almost shot 5 times. Yeah. No, dude. There's something wrong with that, dude. There is something really wrong with you if you stick your middle finger up. You're flipping off a guy that's literally 10, 15, 20 stories above you, firing down, trying to kill anybody.
Standing, anybody up.
Anybody. Not, there's no name on those. There's no name that's and you're just gonna stand there and flip them off and hold your beer. There's something wrong with you, man. There's something wrong.
Live like you're dying, man.
Well, I would be living like I'm trying to live again.
I ain't scared of death.
I ain't either, but by God, I'm scared of a gun. What if? Here's the thing. You ain't got to just be scared of death.
Yeah.
If one of those hits your arm, why use my arm the rest of my life?
Well, and if he had a beer, chances are he had like 12 others, so he's bleeding out quickly. It's totally different. It's not even in the same schoolhouses or like a mass shooting, public shooting. God forbid, or God with everybody of those. But at that year at Rocklahoma last year, when they said tornadoes are heading your way, take cover. And I'm not going to lie, hundreds of us vacated our campers, walked out, and we are all sitting there Jim Giles-ing that shit. And we hear the sirens, we see the wall cloud coming our way.
That's just called being Oklahomans.
And everybody holding our beers
Everybody
up.
does it every time there's a tornado.
Yeah.
But not when there's bullets flying at you.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tornado, if a tornado would have dropped right out of there, 150 yards away, your ass would not have been standing there.
True story.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But that guy stood there while bullets are flying by him? Nah, dog, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
There is something wrong with you. You better go get your head checked.
Okay, so let's do it this way. This will be do you think it's possible that we've already covered both. Do you think it's possible that the school shootings are linked and that they're conspiracy? Is it within the realm of possibility?
Do I think they're linked? Yes. But by prescription drugs.
Okay.
And people say, why is that? Go back and look at a lot of the shooters. Mm-hmm. They all have something in common. They're all on something. Most of them. And then you go back and look at all these. You can look on your just on TV when commercials are flashing through, through. And when it starts saying side effects of this drug are depression, restlessness, this, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. If suicidal thoughts start, you know what, suicidal don't necessarily mean you're going to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. Depression doesn't necessarily mean just because you're depressed and having anxiety and have suicidal doesn't necessarily mean because a lot of them will kill themselves at the end of it. Yeah.
See, me, I'm right there with you. I think they are linked. I don't think it's guns. I'm going to take one step, a layer back. I'm going to say it's mental health, undiagnosed or not properly treated, which is still kind of similar. Not properly treated, monitored mental health. What about the Vegas shooting? Do you think that that's possible that it was a government job? This is the big one. Everybody agrees, or the conspiracies, most of them, the consensus is government job.
I would have to go down there and investigate myself and look at the angles and look at whatever and really interview people. Yeah. I would rather talk to people that lived it than talk to articles than read articles. I know that's difficult because people from around the United States was there. But the reason being is because the guy was shooting down from his hotel room, and some things don't add up.
Yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me, because like people was talking about that window being gone early in the day. Really? No one's going to notice that part? You remember that? Have you ever seen the photos of people like random through that day? Now, if that's real, I don't know. You'd have to. And the other thing is, where was
security?
Yeah, any kind of security footage of that. I'd love to see some kind of footage.
See, that's one thing that kind of gives, I don't want to say credential. It's one of those things that makes you because any other company would have released that and showed like the moments before and after.
Because I've worked in surveillance, and I can't even imagine the type of surveillance cameras. I've worked at
in Vegas.
I worked at these little podunk casino surveillance. I can't even imagine the type of system. Sure. I mean, it'd be the same basis of the system, but on a larger scale. And the clarity and everything would be 10 times better than what I work with.
Every square inch is monitored. There are no blind spots. They pay people to find those blind spots.
Exactly. And I'm like,
I will say, I stayed in an MGM property. I stayed in the Luxor 2 years in a row, which is right next to the Mandalay Bay. And I've been in the Mandalay Bay. I was actually in that tower where he was at. It is. I shouldn't say this on the internet, but it is completely so easy if you wanted to take that take the items in that he took.
Well, here's the thing.
They do not check you.
Well, here's the thing. No one's going to check you at the hotel.
No.
They're not. That's not what they do. I can break down my AK-47. I can break down my AR-15. I can strap in some pistols, throw them in some luggage, wrap them in my clothes, walk those sons of bitches right on in. It's not hard to get that away. I want to know how you got the window out of your... Because he didn't blast it out, did he?
He could have,
but a lot of people saying there wasn't a window there. Like there were, you know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of small little things I want to see, and then you got the people that said there was gunshots coming from ground level.
I will say the acoustics in that area, because I spent some time out on that street in front. The acoustics are really weird down there. And I mean, you can hear a semi, the air brakes, and it resonates off of those buildings.
Of course. That's where sound bounces, of course.
Exactly. Well, if you're shooting from that window, it's very easily, it could have been an echo.
The other thing is you can't put too much emphasis on that too, because it's just, you're not trained for that.
True. This is very true.
I mean, it's hard for that, but I mean, do I think it could have been staged? I think it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
As bad as it is, because every time a shooting occurs,
right?
Like one of these mass shootings.
Yeah.
Every time we get a mass shooting, the first thing they want to do is start talking about taking guns away. You know what I mean? And alcohol kills more people a year.
Yes, it does.
Than guns, but you don't talk. But you don't see people talking about, well, let's ban alcohol because of drunk drivers,
right?
And people say, well, that's why they got, that's why they got the laws. Well, how's that working for people not driving drunk?
Well, I mean, the same goes for marijuana. It's illegal.
Yeah,
killing people's illegal, and that didn't stop them.
And I mean, I don't, because every time one of these start, well, there you go.
Let's get off of mine. I think it is possible it could be a government job, but I will never believe that it is, mainly because the government had nothing to gain by it. Not one thing. The only thing they could have is, like you said, the gun debate. If they're trying to disarm America through banning guns, that's the only reason positive in their favor that I could see that they would profit from it. What's the other big one? The chemtrails. This will be a fun one.
Oh, that is. I don't even know, man.
Now, see, the chemtrail conspiracy, for those out there who are listening.
A rough one at me.
The chemtrails, it is a conspiracy that the government is dumping some unlisted, unspecified chemicals on America through airplane engines, and so that when an airplane flies across the sky and you see the trails coming out of it, these are the chemical trails of them crop dusting us, essentially. And I do crop dust, and it's alleged that anything from mind control to depressants to whatever to make us more malleable, or some form of chemical they're crop dusting us. Now, the scientific answer to rebut to that is that the vapor that you're seeing in the atmosphere is a byproduct, as water vapor that comes from the engines.
Touche.
So that when it mixes with the high altitude, it turns essentially to clouds, to snow.
Touche.
So that's the scientific explanation for them.
And it's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's a solid one. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the videos of people watching those planes land? It's coming off then. Is there a point in time when is there a point in time when it all balances out? And why doesn't every plane do this?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like every plane.
Well, the larger the plane, the larger the trail, because the larger the engines. The larger engines put out more exhaust. Just like a little moped isn't going to put out the same exhaust as my V8 Chevy truck.
But you're still going to see it.
Well, we see with exhaust coming from vehicles on a cold winter day, and you're burning it, and you see the smoke coming out. The only difference is we're not thousands of feet up in the sky.
But even when I take off my car, it's not leaving a trail. It's just blowing out right here. These things are leaving strips.
Depends on how old it is.
It's leaving strips from.
Yeah.
No, that's called blown head gasket, cracked head.
What happens when you crack the head? Water seeps into your motor.
Okay, but
it's blown out.
But that water doesn't still stay when you take off.
The atmosphere is different, thousands of feet up.
Is it freezing it?
It is.
And that's what's starting the trail?
It's what a cloud is. It's essentially making clouds. And the length, duration.
We're going to do our own survey here. Okay. Let's watch a chemtrail. Let our chemtrail. Let's watch the chemtrails, right? What people are saying, and let's see if any weird weather occurrences happen within the next 48 hours.
That's not forecasted.
That's not forecasted.
Okay.
Like, let's just.
Well, we finally figured out what's up with our crazy weather in Oklahoma. It snowed the other day.
Right.
Yes,
but I mean, there's that. There's chemtrails. There's HARP. Have you ever seen HARP? Look up HARP. I think it's HARP. It's something that's supposed to be like in Alaska or something, Antarctica or somewhere.
Okay.
And I've seen so many people talk about. I think it's HARP. Anybody out there, conspiracy theorists, holler at us real quick about this. And HARP is this thing that sends like magnetic waves through the air. That's supposed to help rearrange wind patterns. Help a
weather machine.
Basically, it's a weather machine.
Okay.
And that's where they're saying all these crazy hurricanes start up out of nowhere. These storms, and
are these the same people denying climate change? They're saying, it's HARP.
I don't know.
It's all connected.
I will say climate change is fucking real.
Oh yeah.
Because yesterday we got snow down to and then up to the 50s, like within 2 hours.
But it's cold outside. It can't be global warming. It's cold.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Shut up.
We got time for like one more. What do you think of the flat earthers?
The what?
The flat Earth
Society.
My God!
Don't even start me with people who think the world's flat.
That ain't even conspiracy. That's
we need to do conspiracy part 2 because we got the moon landing. We got O.J. Simpson.
We got 9/11.
We got 9. We're gonna do a part 2 to this next week.
Yeah.
So we got flat earthers. What'd you say?
Flat Earth Society.
Flat Earth Society.
Yeah.
Are you just stupid?
Right.
I can't. Prove to me how.
Well, their argument is that it's got to be flat because if you go up any plane, if you go up any mountain or any place high, the Earth doesn't curve.
Here's the thing. Here's my argument. Yeah. Have you never heard of the Coriolis effect? Is it Coriolis effect?
Areolas effect.
No, Coriolis.
Oh, Cornelius.
No, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is it Coriolis? Coriolis?
Aurora Borealis?
No, god damn it.
Coriolis. Isn't that where you see the sky?
No, it's the Earth spinning.
Oh, okay.
It's where I can't shoot a bullet a mile without adjusting to the Earth's rotation.
Right. Yeah.
The same thing that air traffic control has to deal with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, you could go from A to B without having to do.
Well, their answer to that is that it's spinning on the horizontal axis.
That makes no damn sense either. I'm like, okay. Well, we have shot other things out. Obviously, we're on Mars, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're on Mars.
Okay, that's another one.
That's another one. Okay, next week we're jumping straight into. We got the Mars landing, we got the moon landing, we got 9/11, we got O.J. Simpson. We're about to break this even more because we got caught up in Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Tomorrow or next week we're going to go straight into it, then we might go in news when we're done.
Yeah. So next week we're just going straight over the top conspiracies. I'm like, are you just dumb? I mean, that means we would fall off.
That's what their deal is that there's an edge.
How do you not? You would find it, and somebody would took a picture. It'd be on Facebook.
Explain to me the ocean.
It would be on Facebook. It would be on
the
Instagram.
Government's subduing it, Arlo. Facebook is deleting your flat Earth debunking images or your flat Earth proving things and replacing it.
No, they're not. Nope. No, they're not. You're just a moron.
Yeah.
No.
To wrap that up, folks. Your Facebook posts are not being deleted. No one's monitoring.
Here's the other thing, and I'm not trying to be an ass, but do we have any Flat Earth Society people?
I want to talk to them.
I want to hear your
so bad,
and I will
be respectful.
I will be totally respectful because I do want to. I will respect anybody's opinion, whether I agree or disagree.
Yeah,
but you can't just. We're not going to be assholes about it. We will have an educated discussion because I love an educated discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a million different questions that I would love to ask one of them about.
Right.
I mean, so here we go.
100%.
Let's see if we can find a Flat Earth Society person.
Yeah, we do.
I call them victims.
Call in, guys. AA meeting podcast at gmail.com. Send us an email.
Gmail.
You can call in live 6:30 tomorrow. 6:30 or 7 be the best time for you to call in. 918-973-0377. We want to hear your conspiracies. We want to hear them. We want to talk to you. We'll be nice. I'll black out the screen so you can't see us rolling our eyes now. I'm kidding. Seriously though, we want to. I want to hear my eyes squint anyway, so my eyes are just closed.
Yeah, we will be respectful. We're being assholes right now, but we're all right. We're pretty decent people.
No joke. Also, guys, please go to please like, subscribe, follow, however you're listening to us. Please support the show. Those numbers matter to us. You missed the ability to get me in makeup, but we never know. Something may come back around later on.
You just may take a picture of his Saturday night.
Maybe. And other than that, go to our website, aameetingpodcast.wordpress.com. Hit the sponsors page. Check out our sponsors. They support the show and help us upgrade our stuff. And if you want to advertise with us, send me an email, aameetingpodcast@gmail.com. And for me, that's Adam, and I will see you next week. Berto. I'm going to turn this over to my my co-host here for some words to live by.
Oh, man. Words to live by today. I've just been thinking a lot about people and individuals, things that's going on through people's life that we don't know anything that's going on, but people tend to not think that way, that people aren't going through something. So I'm just going to put this out there. Some of us are going through rough times. I know some people are going into the fight of their lives, fighting for their future, fighting for their careers, fighting for their family, fighting for love, fighting for peace of mind. And some are even fighting for their lives. I'm just here to say today, you know what? Don't quit. Don't quit. Whatever your fight is in life, whatever you're going against in life, don't quit. Don't settle. Don't stop. I almost said don't stop believing like Journey, but by God, I will say it. Don't stop believing, because you just don't quit. Keep grinding. Keep going forward. Why? Because you either fight for what you want today, or you're going to fight against what you don't want later. You choose. Like we always do about this time. Life is short. Live passionately. Keep living strong. Keep training strong. Most importantly, baby, keep loving strong. AA meeting till next Sunday. Conspiracy Theory Part 2. We out.